If you have ever reached the end of the month and wondered where all the money went, you are not alone. Research consistently shows that a significant majority of Americans live paycheck to paycheck at some point in their lives. This is not just a problem for low-income households. It affects people across a wide range of incomes, including people earning six figures. Today we are going to talk honestly about why this happens, what keeps people stuck in the cycle, and the practical steps that are most widely discussed for breaking out of it. First, let us understand why the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle exists, because it is almost never just about not earning enough. There are three core patterns that come up repeatedly in personal finance research. The first is lifestyle inflation. As income rises, spending tends to rise with it. A pay rise gets absorbed by a nicer apartment, a newer car, more dining out, more subscriptions. The gap between income and expenses stays the same or narrows even as the numbers get bigger. This is why people earning $90,000 can feel just as financially squeezed as people earning $40,000. The second pattern is the absence of a spending plan. Without a clear picture of where money is going, spending fills available space. It is not that people are making bad choices intentionally, it is that there is no system telling them when a choice will create a problem later in the month. The third pattern is the lack of any financial buffer. When there is no savings cushion, every unexpected expense, a car repair, a medical bill, a flight home, goes on a credit card. That credit card balance then requires monthly payments that reduce available income, which makes building a buffer even harder. This is the trap inside the trap. So, what are the steps most widely discussed for breaking this cycle? Step 1 is to know exactly where your money is going right now. Before changing anything, spend 2 to 4 weeks tracking every transaction. Most people who do this for the first time are surprised by the results, not necessarily shocked by one large expense, but by the accumulation of small ones. Streaming services, convenience fees, impulse purchases, food delivery, individually minor, collectively significant. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Step 2 is to build even a small financial buffer. The goal does not start at a full emergency fund, it starts at $1,000. $1,000 sitting in a savings account changes your relationship with unexpected expenses. A car repair is no longer a crisis, it is an inconvenience you can absorb. Getting to that first $1,000 as quickly as possible is widely discussed as the most important early milestone for someone breaking out of the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Sell something, work extra hours, cut one major expense temporarily, whatever it takes to create that initial cushion. Step 3 is to implement a spending plan before the money arrives. The 50-30-20 rule is a widely discussed framework. 50% of take-home pay to needs, 30% to wants, 20% to savings and debt repayment. Not everyone's situation fits these exact percentages, and that is fine. The framework can be adjusted. What matters is that money is assigned to categories before it gets spent, rather than being spent and then accounted for after the fact. Step 4 is to automate savings so that the decision is not made each month. On the day your pay arrives, an automatic transfer moves a fixed amount, even $50, even $20, into a separate savings account before you have a chance to spend it. This works because it removes the willpower element. The money is not available, so it does not get spent. Step 5 is to address any debt with high interest rates. Credit card debt at 15 to 25% interest is one of the most effective ways to stay stuck. Minimum payments barely touch the principal, and the interest compounds against you. The avalanche method, putting extra money toward the highest interest debt first, while making minimum payments on the rest, is widely discussed as the fastest way to get out mathematically. The snowball method, paying off the smallest balance first, gives faster psychological wins and works better for some people. Either approach is significantly better than making minimum payments only. There is one mindset shift that comes up frequently in discussions about the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, and it is worth naming directly. The people who successfully break out of this pattern almost universally describe a moment where they stopped being passive about money and started being intentional. Not obsessive, intentional. That means knowing what is coming in, knowing what is going out, and making deliberate choices about the gap between those two numbers. You do not need a high income to do this. You need a system. If your income is genuinely not enough to cover basic needs regardless of how efficiently you manage it, the long-term solutions involve earning more through a salary negotiation, a second income stream, developing a marketable skill, or career progression. Our video on negotiating your salary covers that in detail, and we will link it in the description. Financial management tools can optimize what you have, but they cannot replace income that is not there. To wrap up, living paycheck to paycheck is common, and it is not a character flaw, it is a pattern, and patterns can be changed. Start by seeing where your money actually goes. Build a small buffer as fast as you can. Give every dollar a purpose before the month starts. Automate savings. Address high-interest debt systematically. And get intentional rather than passive about the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Subscribe. If you found this useful, we publish a new personal finance video every week, and if you want a framework for organizing your spending, our video on the 50-30-20 rule walks through that in detail. Link in the description. See you in the next one.